As men, we are raised to believe that women's love to us is unconditional. And the reason for this is because the love we received from our mothers growing up was unconditional. We could fail, we could struggle, we could completely do everything wrong, but our mom would still love us and her love would never wane for us. I hate to break it to you, and the harsh reality is that no other woman will ever love you unconditionally like this. And in today's video, I'm gonna explain exactly why that's the case. Make sure you stay till the end, because this is extremely important that you master this and understand this, whether you're a man that's single, in a marriage, or in a relationship. Let's get after it. If you walk in life in your adult relationships believing this non-truth that women are, going to unconditionally love you, all you're doing is setting yourself up for, number one, manipulation, heartbreak, and a lot of confusion in your adult relationships. It's important to understand that women are wired to only unconditionally love their offspring, their children, okay? And this bond literally starts when you are growing inside of your mother. There's so many biological processes that go on and hormonal releases and things that bond her to you in a way that a woman will never bond to even the man that gave her that child. So you need to understand this. And if you can master and understand this, you will look at relationships completely differently. You'll look at your previous relationships completely differently, and you'll understand this. Now, this isn't something where you need to watch this video and understand this and then start to hate women. That is not at all the truth, okay? This is not their fault. They are wired like this. The same way that you and I are wired in ways that they don't like, they are wired in ways that we don't like, okay? So you need to grasp this and understand this. It's not their fault. Don't take it out on your girlfriend. Don't take it out on your wife. Don't take it out on your sister or anything. Women are not wired to unconditionally love you. And the reason for this is very simple. It comes down to biology. So for yourself growing up, your mom is biologically programmed to have that attachment to you to ensure you survive. It's a very easy to understand thing, right? If she had no investment in your care and your survival, you probably wouldn't survive, because as a child, you need a mother and parental guidance to get you the food and resources and teach you how to do things in life, right? So if there was no bonding to that, well, there wouldn't be an investment on the part of the mother to do that. There's a very strong biological instinct in humans from the mother to the offspring, the son or the daughter, for this exact reason. The woman in this aspect, as being a mother, it is very much about nurturing, love, care, and that's why that love you'll experience from your mother, you'll never feel from a woman. Even if she loves you immensely, she will never love you like your mother. And this is a reason why you should appreciate your mother and call her right now or text her right now and tell her you love her, okay? Because no woman will ever love you like her. I promise that. I promise that. Let's understand why women outside of being your mother in relationships are not wired to love you like this. It comes down to biology again. Women are programmed for selection. And they're programmed to select the most dominant, driven, most ambitious man. And the reason they want him in this context is for one of two reasons. They either want this man for the genetic material that he possesses. So typically more alpha type men, like, the guys that are taller, more athletic looking, jacked, they're dominant, they carry a dominant presence themselves. Women want these guys mainly for, number one, their protection, and number two, their genetic material for their offspring. Because all of those things signal to a woman that their offspring they would have are going to be strong, resilient, and able to then carry on their lineage, from the mother. Now, the other side of this is they tend to want men who are more of the better, emotional security, long-term provider type men. And this actually is something called the dual mating strategy. This requires women to look at men in two different categories. And this is why you'll see often women, chase after the bad boy or the more dominant guy, but she marries the nice guy, okay? Because of this dual mating strategy. So you need to understand that. For us men, we don't look at women this way. We see them primarily as like, you're attractive, or I like you, or I don't like you. Women see men for different rules and responsibilities in life. Now, that doesn't mean that they enact this out and they do this, but you will see a lot of times that women tend to, when they're in, serious committed relationships, they tend to cheat on their long-term partner, the guy that's more stable and emotionally, secure with them, with the guy that is the more alpha type. This happens all the time, and this is because of a woman's biological programming. Again, Don't get mad at her for that. Now, you can say we live in a modern world and women shouldn't cheat and stuff, but they're wired to do this. A woman that is in touch with her morality, ethics, and having some sort of moral compass, if she has them, or some sort of religion, she's gonna try to restrict herself from enacting and following in this path if she's married or in a relationship, okay? But the women that don't really have this moral compass, they're gonna lean heavier into their biological instincts, the same way that a man who is in a relationship and feels this drive to, spread his genetic material everywhere and be with lots of different women, the same way that that's the case too. So morality obviously plays into a lot of this. I always tell people, you might logically know it's 2025, but your wiring thinks it's 10,000 BC. And this is the same thing for women as well. Okay, so they feel pull to go different ways as well. Now, this is where it gets super interesting and super important. She is programmed to love your power, your status, and what you can provide her. This is how she's instinctually wired. So what does this mean? If she has respect for you, if she views you as powerful, as high status, and as someone that's attractive because of these things, she will love you. But if you lose your power, if you lose respect from her, if you lose her attraction, it's over. She will not love you anymore. She might stay in a relationship with you for other, societal reasons, but the love she has for you will be over, because her love for you was based on the conditions of your respect, your power, your dominance, and your ability to feel like you could protect her and that she's safe with you. So I have seen this happen in endless relationships of people I know, family members. I've seen this happen to friends, and I've seen it in my own life. I've had girlfriends that were in love with me. When I showed some weakness after going through a hard time, that love faded pretty quickly. Doesn't mean they can't regain it for you eventually. They can. Most often, if they see you like that, that's where it becomes problematic. This doesn't mean that you shouldn't be vulnerable. This just means that you need to be aware of how a woman looks at you, okay? It doesn't mean she's gonna give up on you. It doesn't mean she's gonna walk away from you, but you will have to regain that status, power, and respect in her eyes to be attractive to her again, right? So a lot of times when the polarity falls apart in a relationship like that and the attraction goes away, a lot of the sexual parts of the relationship go away too, because the woman is driven to want this, right? Remember what I said? She has a dual mating strategy. She wants the genetic material. She wants the offspring to come from that more alpha dominant guy. So that's why a lot of times, if you get settled into a comfortable relationship with a woman, you will lose that, because even the most alpha dominant men, dominant men, like very successful, high status guys, you will see their wives cheat on them. I know you can think of probably 5 guys that are celebrities that are tall, jacked, good-looking dudes that we know of, their wives cheated on them. Why is that? Well, because in her eyes and the way she sees that guy, he lost what I'm talking about. So her love is conditional. You have to understand that. You must understand that. It's a cold, harsh reality, but it's the truth. Thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video. I'm sure that, digesting this is going to be a little bit much and a little bit hard to understand. Totally understand that. Totally understand that dispelling this is probably going to be a little bit of something that takes a little bit of time to accept. You probably feel some resistance to this, but just understand that the mother that unconditionally loves you, the man that gave her you, she never will unconditionally love. If you can understand that, then you'll understand how, you in your life, if you have kids, your wife will always unconditionally love those children in a different way that she can never love you. And if you don't have children, but you still have your mother around, thank your mother, tell her you love her, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you want to keep leveling up as a man, make sure you subscribe. See you next time.